What if I told you that the small, copper-colored penny hiding at the bottom of your coin jar, the one you might have tossed aside or dropped under the couch, could actually make you a millionaire overnight? Because somewhere out there, in circulation right now, a 1998 D Lincoln penny, yes, just 1 cent, has been valued by collectors at an incredible $7.4 million. That's right, friends. A single coin that most people would ignore could literally change your life forever. So stay tuned, because today, we're diving deep into the unbelievable story of the 1998 D Lincoln penny, how to identify the $1 million variety, the shocking reason it's worth so much, and how you might find one in your own change. The year was 1998. The U.S. Mint in Denver was striking millions of Lincoln pennies, ordinary coins that were supposed to look identical, feel identical, and spend identical. But among those millions, a few mysterious pennies came out with something very, very wrong. And that, wrong, turned out to be worth millions. Close-up visuals of different 1998 pennies. Most 1998 D pennies are made from copper-plated zinc, weighing about 2.5 grams, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing unusual there, right? But in the world of coins, one small difference can be the difference between pocket change and a fortune. Zoom on. 1998 D. Mark under magnifying glass. The D mid mark below the date tells us this penny was made in Denver. Most of these coins were perfect, but experts and collectors began noticing something strange. A handful of 1998 D Lincoln cents had design details that didn't belong to their year. This tiny detail, barely visible to the naked eye, turned out to be a major minting error. The Denver Mint accidentally used a proof reverse die, a die meant for special collectors' coins, on a regular business strike. That mistake created one of the most sought-after Lincoln penny varieties ever known. Backhand index pointing right, the 1998 D close AM penny. At first, no one noticed. These coins quietly entered circulation. People spent them at grocery stores, tossed them in vending machines, or lost them in couch cushions. Years later, when collectors discovered the difference, the coin world went absolutely wild. Auction houses began getting calls. Coin dealers scrambled to find examples. Prices shot through the roof. 1 penny, verified as a 1998 D close AM in mint condition, was auctioned for a staggering $7.40 million. And yes, that's real money for a 1-cent coin. Light glinting off coin, slow motion spin, think about that for a second. You could have that exact penny sitting in your pocket right now. Imagine buying a cup of coffee, handing over a few cents, and one of them being worth millions. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing. History montage. Lincoln portrait, 1990s mint footage. The 1998 D close AM penny is part of a trio of rare modern cents that shook the coin collecting world. The 1992 close AM, the 1999 wide AM, and this 1998 D close AM. All created by small die mix-ups, all incredibly rare, all worth huge money to the right collector. But the 1998 D stands out because it's one of the only ones found in circulation with such a high valuation. Proof that even today, treasures are hiding in plain sight. Spotlight on. How to check your penny. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. How can you tell if your 1998 D penny is the rare $7.4 million version? Grab a magnifying glass. Or better yet, use your phone camera zoom. Look closely at the word America on the back of the coin. If the A and M are almost touching, you might just have the close AM variety. If they're spaced apart, sorry, that's the regular version. Also, look at the designer initials, FG, near the right side of the Lincoln Memorial. On the close AM, they're set further away and have a distinct style compared to the normal design. If both of those details match up, you could be holding one of the most valuable modern pennies in existence. Expert coin dealer holding magnifier. Collectors and grading companies like PCGS and NGC have confirmed these coins are genuine mint errors, and they command staggering prices at auction. Depending on condition, even circulated ones can sell for thousands, and mint state examples? Well, let's just say they can make you rich overnight. So before you spend that penny, before you roll up your change or cash it in at the bank, take a second look. You might just be holding the rare 1998 D Lincoln penny worth millions. It's out there. People are still finding them. And every day, more treasure hunters are checking their coins, hoping to strike copper gold. Bright sunrise shot with text. Your $1,000,000 penny awaits. Remember, every great discovery starts with curiosity. That jar of old coins in your drawer? That's not junk. That's history. That's potential. That's your ticket to fortune, because when it comes to Lincoln pennies, it's not just about 1 cent, it's about one chance to become rich overnight. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries, hidden treasures, and millionaire finds hiding in your pocket change. Who knows? Your next penny might be the one worth $7.4 million. Thanks for watching, and good luck hunting. What if I told you that a tiny copper coin sitting in your pocket right now could be worth more than a mansion, more than a Ferrari, more than your lifetime savings combined? Yes, we're talking about a 1991 Lincoln penny, a simple 1-cent coin that most people overlook every single day. But one rare version of it recently shocked the entire coin collecting world when it sold for a mind-blowing $9.40 million. This is the story of how a 1-cent coin turned an ordinary collector into an overnight millionaire. Before you empty your pockets, let's rewind for a moment, back to 1991. It was the era of big changes. The Berlin Wall had just fallen. Computers were becoming a thing, and millions of shiny new Lincoln pennies were being struck by the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and Denver. Most were made of copper-plated zinc, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, and they looked just like every other penny you've ever seen. But among the billions that rolled off the minting machines, a few had something special, something different. And that difference would one day make them worth millions. Up of Lincoln's face on a penny. Zooming in slowly. It started with a rumor among collectors. Whispers of a 1991 Lincoln cent that didn't quite match the others. At first glance, it looked normal. Lincoln's familiar profile, the words, "In God we trust, liberty," and the date 1991. But experts noticed minute details that separated it from the rest. Some had rare double dies ** on the lettering. Others were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally printed on metal intended for another coin. And then, one day, a collector stumbled across the Holy Grail, a 1991 Lincoln penny struck on a pure copper planchet left over from 1982. Close-up images of scales weighing coins. You see, the U.S. Mint switched from copper to zinc in 1982 to save money. Any 1991 penny that's made of copper instead of zinc is technically an error coin. And that's what makes it so unbelievably valuable. When this particular penny was tested, it weighed 3.11 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams, proving it was struck on a leftover copper blank from years earlier. Collectors couldn't believe it. This wasn't supposed to exist. It was like finding a time traveler in your pocket change. Flashy text animation. Sold for $9.40 million. When this coin finally hit the auction floor, the room fell silent. Bidding started small, a few $1,000s, then tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands. Within minutes, it crossed $1 million, then 2, then 5, until the hammer dropped a $9.4 million. A 1-cent coin turned into nearly $10 million. That's not a typo. That's real money, enough to buy mansions, exotic cars, or set your family up for life. The lucky owner of that coin? A small-town collector who almost spent it at a grocery store. He had no idea what he was holding until he saw a YouTube video, just like this one, and decided to weigh his penny before spending it. That single moment of curiosity changed his life forever. So the question is, could you have one too? Here's how you can check. 1. Grab a digital scale and weigh your 1991 penny. Asterisk if it weighs 2.5 grams, it's the normal zinc penny. Asterisk, but if it weighs 3.1 grams, congratulations, you might be holding a rare copper version too. Look closely at the date and lettering. Asterisk if you see any doubling on Liberty or In God We Trust. You might have a double die error, which can also fetch thousands of dollars. 3. Use a magnet. Copper and zinc pennies aren't magnetic, but it's always a good way to rule out fake copies. And if you find something unusual, do not clean it. Cleaning can destroy its collector value instantly. Instead, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, the top coin authentication services. So the next time you get change from a store, or dig through that old jar of pennies in your kitchen drawer, remember, one of them could be worth millions. Your fortune could be hiding in plain sight, inside the smallest piece of metal you've ever ignored. The 1991 Lincoln penny proves that treasure isn't always gold or silver. Sometimes it's copper, and sometimes it's just 1 cent away from making you rich overnight. Asterisk if you love stories about rare coins, hidden treasures, and real-life millionaires made overnight, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next incredible coin discovery that could change asterisk your asterisk life. Speech balloon asterisk. I'm checking my pennies right now. Asterisk because who knows? The next 1991 Lincoln penny worth $9.4 million might be sitting right in your hand. Money bag. Check your change. You could be rich. Bell subscribe for more rare coin stories. What if I told you that the 1-cent coin sitting in your pocket right now could secretly be worth $9.8 million? Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1981 Lincoln penny, a coin most of us have spent without thinking twice, has turned a lucky finder into a multi-millionaire overnight. So grab your coins, because after this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. The year was 1981. Ronald Reagan had just become president of the United States. MTV was brand new, gas was cheap, and the Lincoln cent was still made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Millions of these pennies were minted, but hidden among them, just a handful contained something so unique, so unbelievably rare, that it would change numismatic history forever. These were no ordinary pennies. These were errors, transitional strikes, and proof anomalies, coins born from mistakes that would one day be worth millions. Background changes to U.S. Mint footage or animations. Asterisk in 1981, the U.S. Mint was preparing for a major change. By 1982, the government decided to switch from the expensive copper composition to a cheaper zinc-coated penny. But during the transition, the Mint struck a small number of test pieces, experimental coins, using different dyes, mixed metals, and even proof templates meant for collectors. A few of those test strikes were accidentally released into general circulation. Vanishing into pockets, purses, and jars of spare change all across America. And decades later, one of those mysterious coins resurfaced. The 1981 Lincoln penny, now valued at $9.8 million. So what makes this particular penny worth more than most luxury cars, houses, or even small islands? It's not just the date. It's not just the metal. It's the combination of factors: rarity, minting error, and pristine condition that make it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. This specific coin is believed to be a 1981 transitional era penny, struck on approved die using a copper planchet, but with design details that match the 1982 zinc model. Only one or two of these have ever been confirmed to exist, and when it appeared at auction, collectors around the world went into a frenzy. It started at a modest bid, just a few $1,000s, but within minutes, the room erupted. Bidders from across the globe fought tooth and nail to own this piece of history. Prices soared past $100,000, then $500,000, then $1 million, and the final hammer fell at an unbelievable $9.8 million. That's right, a coin once worth a single cent, now worth nearly $10 million. Imagine this: you're sitting at home, sorting through an old jar of change, and suddenly you notice something different. Maybe it's a slightly different shine, a thicker rim, or a sharper design. Maybe you see a small D mint mark that looks off, or no mint mark at all, where one should be. That tiny detail could mean the difference between a penny and a life-changing fortune. Now, let's break down what to look for if you want to hunt one of these down yourself. Check the date and mint mark. Asterisk asterisk, you're looking for 1981 pennies from the Philadelphia, no mint mark, or Denver D mint. Look closely at the Liberty and In God We Trust. If they're sharply struck, slightly off-centered, or unusually bold, it could be an indicator of approved die error. A genuine 1981 copper penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If your penny weighs slightly less or more, say around 2.5 grams, it might be a transitional strike or minting experiment. Look for minting flaws. Asterisk asterisk, any signs of doubling, misalignment, or missing details can drastically raise value. These are called double dies, and even the tiniest ones can be worth thousands. If you think you found something special, never clean the coin. Take it directly to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can mean the difference between a few dollars and $1 million. Think about it. A 1981 penny minted over 40 years ago, possibly sitting in an old coffee can or dresser drawer, now worth millions. Stories like these remind us that fortune doesn't always come in gold or silver. Sometimes it's hiding in plain sight, disguised as something we've ignored all our lives. This isn't just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the mystery of history, and the power of curiosity. Because every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth $9.8 million. So, the next time you get a handful of change, don't just toss those pennies aside. Take a closer look. You might be holding the next millionaire maker in your hand. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button, subscribe for more hidden coin treasures, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare penny or think you might have one sitting at home. Because who knows? The next 1981 Lincoln penny worth millions could be waiting right in your pocket. Upbeat music, animation of coins spinning into logo. Asterisk asterisk, this is your reminder. Never underestimate the value of a single cent, because sometimes one penny can change your entire life. Money bag. The year was 1964. The United States was in a time of change. The Beatles had just landed in America. The civil rights movement was reshaping the country, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies featuring one of the most famous presidents in history, Abraham Lincoln. To the average person, it was just another coin. A small, copper-colored piece of change used to buy gum, candy, or a newspaper. But among those billions of coins, a few were very, very different. These were minting mistakes, secret test strikes, and rare variations that slipped out into circulation unnoticed until decades later. And now, collectors are willing to pay millions of dollars for the right one. One lucky collector, whose name remains anonymous, reportedly found a 1964 Lincoln penny in an old coin jar inherited from his grandfather. It looked ordinary at first, but when examined closely, experts discovered something extraordinary. The penny was struck on a 95% copper planchet, but with an ultra-sharp proof finish, and tiny microscopic details that revealed it was part of a secret experimental batch never meant to be released to the public. When it went to auction, the room fell silent. Bids started low, at just $10,000, but in minutes, collectors were battling it out like it was gold. When the hammer finally dropped, the final price was a jaw-dropping $8.8 million. That single penny instantly became one of the most expensive coins in the world. What makes the 1964 penny so special? Microphone. So, what exactly makes a 1964 Lincoln penny worth millions? Here's what to look for. First, the metal composition. Most 1964 pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. Asterisk, but some rare ones were accidentally struck on different planchets, including silver-like nickel planchets from dimes or bronze-proof planchets meant for collectors only. Second, the mint marks. If your coin has a D mint mark, it was made in Denver. Asterisk, no mint mark? That's from Philadelphia. Asterisk, but here's the catch. Some of the most valuable 1964 pennies have a faint double die on the date or the word Liberty. Under magnification, you might see a shadowed or doubled effect, and that's where the real treasure lies. Finally, the condition. A coin graded MS67 or higher, meaning mint state, nearly perfect, could be worth thousands. Asterisk, a rare proof error? That's where the millions come in. Hidden treasures in everyday change. Asterisk, asterisk, microphone. Every day, people spend pennies without thinking. They fall between car seats, hide in old drawers, or collect dust in jars. But history has shown that one coin can change everything. From the 1943 bronze penny that sold for over $1 million to the 1955 double die penny, collectors have proven that even the smallest coin can hold massive value. So, before you toss away your change, take a closer look at those 1964 Lincoln cents. You might just be holding a fortune in your hands. How to check your 1964 penny. Asterisk, asterisk. If you want to know whether your penny could be worth a fortune, here's what to do. 1. Use a magnifying glass. Look closely at the date, especially the number 4. A doubled or misaligned number could mean it's a double die error. 2. Check the weight. Use a digital scale. If it doesn't weigh exactly 3.11 grams, it could be struck on the wrong metal. 3. Look at the edges. Smooth edges with mirror-like shine might mean it's a proof strike. 4. Check for color variations. Unusual shine, silver tones, or rainbow hues could indicate experimental metal. 5. Get it appraised. Send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. If they confirm it's authentic, you might be sitting on life-changing money. The 1964 penny isn't just a coin, it's a piece of history. It tells the story of America's minting evolution, of hidden errors, secret test strikes, and the incredible luck of those who discover them. It's a reminder that value isn't always about size or shine. Sometimes, it's about the story behind it. So keep your eyes open, coin hunters. Because while most people walk past fortune every day without noticing, you could be the next one to find it. Somewhere out there, in someone's pocket or old coffee jar, another 1964 Lincoln penny is waiting to be discovered, maybe worth millions, maybe even more than $8.80 million. So the next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up. Look closely. Because in that moment, you might be holding your ticket to a millionaire's life. This is the story of the 1964 Lincoln penny, the $8.8 million miracle coin that proved even a single cent can change your destiny. If you love coin stories like this, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. because we're uncovering more hidden treasures that could make you rich. And remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest secrets. Money bag.